Flame on.
Big Dawg's in the building.
Let's go.
Oh, hey, good morning to everybody on this Tuesday, on this New Year's Eve. Big Dawg, what an exciting day to be alive. It's the last day of 2024. How will it be remembered for you, Big Dawg?
Dude, it's going to be remembered in a lot of ways. And I'll be honest, because of recency bias, the biggest thing in 2024, to sum it up for my year, breaking. That's all we got. That's all we got to talk about. That's 2024 for me. Even though it's only been the past 3 months, that's 2024. That's when life activated. That's when the games turned on. That's when we started playing it. So that's 2024 for me.
From birth until October 2024, there was nothing.
Nothing.
And then there was Big Dawg.
And dude, today's a big day. It's Big Dawg's rocking New Year's Eve. So.
I tell you what, Ryan Seacrest can go shove it.
I know, Dick Clark, dude,
good
get them
riddance.
out of here. I know, yeah, rest in peace, but good riddance.
Not with Big Dawg ripping today.
We're gonna have a good
morning.
one.
Dude, we got 10 people rocking in here bright and early on a New Year's Eve. Pace yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe chill out with the mimosas today. We got a big day, a big night ahead of us. Big Dawg's already got a break halfway full. Hop on in, y'all. $5,000 worth of breaking credit when Big Dawg hits a superfractor auto in Bowman Draft today.
Let's start getting those spots filled early. Let's get to ripping early. It's New Year's Eve. The people got off work. They're probably just waking up, hanging out. Today's the perfect day, like you said, to hit that superfractor.
I love it. Big Dawg making this is your debut today. Your official debut.
This is the official debut.
You've gotten your beak wet. But this is the official debut.
Correct, yes. This is the official debut. Dip the toes in the water, but...
When you think of big debuts, I mean, we gotta. This is like a 5-star prospect coming down the pipe.
I know, this is
a first-round draft pick kind of making his debut. What do you think about when you think of debuts, real quick?
I don't know. I like debuts because you got to appreciate them because you might be witnessing history.
There you
in
go.
The moment, you know what I mean?
What do you got like though when you think of like, oh man, I remember watching this player's first game.
Who do I think about?
Yeah.
When I think of, dude, I don't know. There's so many, but like specifically, even with recency bias, I remember watching Jaden Daniels start this year.
Okay,
and I feel like that ends up mattering. I remember watching like Najee Harris's first game and thinking this is going to be like the best thing ever. But like back into the classic days,
would you be satisfied?
I remember watching like Antonio Brown back in my day. Paul Skeens this year as a Pirates fan. So
would you take Najee Harris if they're like, man, Big Dawg, he's just like the Najee Harris of breaking? Would you sign up for that, or do you want to?
No, we're gonna try to do better than that. But like debuts, like you got to give them a chance. I appreciate them for what they are. There's been some big ones that I can recall. Dude, some still haven't happened yet for some people too.
Okay,
so
I like that.
There's a lot in store. You know,
the debut I always think of is Steven Strasburg.
Okay.
Even after Paul Skeens, like I remember the thing about Paul Skeens' debut is I'm pretty sure it happened at like 1 o'clock during a work day. I was able to watch it. I was working on the radio at that time doing a night shift. But when I think of debuts, I think of Steven Strasburg. And I think of Michael Carter-Williams on the 76ers. I'm pretty sure he beat the Miami Heat with like LeBron and Dwayne Wade and had a close to a triple-double. So I would sign up for that, but I hope you don't have a Michael Carter-Williams career arc. Scamming people in cryptocurrency 8 years from now. That's what Michael Carter-Williams ended up doing, by the way. But long story short, good morning, everyone. A happy new year. Big Dawg on the cards today. Connie's in here saying, hey, watch out, MCW. We got a lot to get to today. We're going to get to our NFL leftovers, our winners and losers of the week. A little breakdown of Monday Night Football last night. Game didn't mean much, but it was very fun. College football playoff is back in action tonight. Hopefully no blowouts. Crazy stuff going on in Detroit I saw, watching the broadcast. A little bit of college football leftovers, kind of dip our toes in on some other things. And had a couple good questions in the chat yesterday about some sports cards I wanted to get to. And of course, we're going to touch on some hot stove. The stove has been burning, Big Dawg. And we haven't really gotten to talk about it. But first, we will start looking at last night's football game, Detroit Lions against the San Francisco 49ers, a game that when you start the season, you circle a couple games on the NFL calendar. Last night was one of those games, and I mean, it delivered, but the stakes were not there at all.
And that's the thing, like, fortunately, it wasn't one of those 6-3 kind of games, I guess. But like you said, like it delivered, but it didn't really.
What did it mean? You know?
Yeah. What did it mean? It didn't really like. I'll be honest, like I may have fallen asleep in like the fourth quarter sometime.
I hear you.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just one of those games where like it still like wasn't like, oh, I gotta fight through it, gotta stay up, gotta see what happens.
Like Sunday Night Football, that was me at Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, it was like I knew, like I was like, I think the Lions are gonna win this still, like whatever. Like,
by the way,
again, there was nothing on the line.
Connie's been up since 3:30. What did we hit last night, Connie? What presents do I have waiting for me when I comb through the clips from last night? Oh boy,
I don't know. Connie wasn't on last night. It was actually
what?
Jason and Rothschild.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought he meant by saying glad been up since 3:30. God bless our troops in insomnia. Well, yeah, I co-sign that unless you're talking about insomnia cookies. Then I would say save some money and get a little Chips Ahoy. But going back to the Monday Night Football game, Big Dog, to me, this was a classic Dan Campbell masterclass. In the sake of, I was going to bet on the Lions. I said it yesterday. I said, well, it's Lions or nothing. But I feel a little weird because the number's 3.5, and there's not really any stakes for the Lions. Silly of me to think that Dan Campbell and the Lions would take their foot off the gas pedal. Because honestly, that's what I thought. I thought, why are you going to risk injury? Why are you going to go all out in this game? I wouldn't be surprised if we see some backups play. Who knows if Jared Goff's going to play all 4 quarters? I'd watch some of these college football games. In these bowl games, we're having your starters play the first half, and then regardless of the score, you take them out.
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me. But I don't know. I was thinking maybe the Lions were going to play with their food. Why was the line only 3.5? I overthought it. And this was just a classic Dan Campbell Lions game where they said, don't tell me this game means nothing. We're on the road. We're going to give it our all. And I really got to give the Lions respect. I mean, I know the 49ers have been floundering this season, but damn, man, was that an impressive performance by the Lions?
Dude, and I was actually a little concerned when the game first started and the 49ers went down and scored a touchdown on like the first drive.
The 49ers were clicking.
And I was like, oh, maybe the Lions are going to take their foot off. You know, maybe they are going to like relax and take it easy. Obviously, it's the first drive of the game, but dude, that's like just the difference between the Lions and like really any other team. They'll drop 40 on you. Like it's just casual for them. You know what I mean? Like that's foot on the gas all 60 minutes. The 49ers like started out hot. Like it's hard to hang like with the Lions like that. When dude, one of those touchdowns was that trick play lateral to Jamison Williams.
I know.
Like they are still running. Like they're still showing like what else do they have in the back pocket?
So that's what I wanted to ask. And I made fun of Ben Johnson all season. I'm looking for reasons to dislike the Lions, to be completely honest. Hand up, Eagles fan, looking to poke holes in them. That's what I was going to ask you. Something that rubbed me the wrong way all season is how the Lions are doing offensive lineman this, offensive lineman that. Is it cool? Yes, it's cool as hell. But what happens when you're playing in the playoffs? Heck, you know, we'll talk about this later in the week. You could be playing on the road now. And kind of everyone is now ready for the lineman stuff, the lateral stuff. Do you think it's a little bit foolish to be busting that stuff out in a game that has no stakes?
Dude, again, I think with Dan Campbell, there might be a deeper meaning to it all. Like, we literally, how could we know? Like, it just keeps you on the edge of the seat, dude. Like, again, as a defense, how do you account for that? Like, again, you definitely start practicing and you start, like, you know, trying to adjust for that. But dude, you don't know what else they have in their back pocket. I think it's very scary. I think that it is I think Dan Campbell is doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And like, if he's showing that, there's a reason
he's showing it. Dan Campbell doesn't do things on accident. Happy New Year's Eve to you, Alan. Good morning.
New Year's, Alan.
Happy New Year's Eve to everybody hopping on in. Don't tell us it's New Year's Eve, baby, because we got some work to do. And we got a nice $5,000 of break credit ready for you guys in the store if we hit any Bowman Draft Superfractor auto today with Big Dawg. So hop on in, ladies and gents. But so kind of looking at the 2 quarterbacks last night. Jared Goff and Brock Purdy, 2 guys that have been the cream of the crop, who've been counted out. From a card perspective, Big Dawg, if you could invest in one guy, would you rather invest in the guy that I think we know less about still, Brock Purdy, who they were talking about on the broadcast last night, has a potential huge contract coming down the pipe? Because I'm very 50-50 on Brock Purdy, Big Dawg. Or would you rather go back? I think we really know what Jared Goff is. I think maybe it's a little bit of a safer investment here. Get some Jared Goff rookie cards because I tell you what, I keep thinking, maybe Stafford's better. I think about that Rams Patriots Super Bowl, 3 years ago. That guy's dead. That guy doesn't exist anymore. This Jared Goff is different. If I gave you a blank check and said, get me a rookie card of one of these guys, are you going Purdy or are you going Jared Goff?
Dude, I think I'm going Jared Goff, man.
Wow, all right.
And I'm really big on Jared Goff. I think his situation has been like quite like a crazy story over the past couple of years too.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I don't know if they thought he was down and out of like.
I thought he was down and out when he was in LA.
When he was in LA, I forgot if it was St. Louis or LA at the time still. But dude, right now I think he has the potential to maybe win more like multiple Super Bowls.
That's exactly
the difference. It's like I'm 50-50 on Brock Purdy. He might be the same way, but like I would rather take my odds with Jared Goff and Dan Campbell like running it and trying to get those Super Bowls. So
I think that Jared Goff, and I don't know if it's rookie cards or if there's something better to having like a paying less money for like a veteran Lions card, because here's my logic on this. One, I think you nailed it. I think it is a better situation in Detroit right now where he has a better opportunity to win a Super Bowl. They love Jared Goff in Detroit. And think about this. If Brock Purdy wins a Super Bowl in San Francisco, it'll be a huge deal, right? They've had a little bit of a drought, but San Francisco has already had so much success. They've won Super Bowls. Imagine being the quarterback of the Detroit Lions who won a Super Bowl. That market will explode for Jared Goff.
Exactly.
I think the ceiling for Goff and the floor are both higher than
Even
Brock
if Brock
Purdy.
Purdy wins, you're not Joe Montana. You know what I mean? You're not.
Right,
you're
exactly,
not the guy that brought,
And-
like you brought one and he couldn't even like, he hasn't even got there yet.
Roll. Trust me, I'm no Lions fan. All right, so I don't
Either
care.
am I.
Right. It does. I'm just telling you. Like, you think about fan bases that are starving for Super Bowls. They get that Super Bowl, people are going to go crazy for Jared
they
Goff.
Are
all right.
starving, dude. Have they even ever been to a Super? I don't think they've even ever been to a Super Bowl.
I don't think they have. So, like, I think the bar is so much lower and can really elevate all the value on Jared Goff cards. So I think that is who I would be. And Roland, you talked about the college football playoff game tonight. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. Before we do, however, I kind of want to put a pin on NFL Week 17. It was a bit of an odd weekend, in my opinion.
It was a long Week 17.
Dude, I don't like it.
Dude,
I don't like it. It's too long.
Either. Dude, it started on Wednesday, ended yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't. Dude, I don't know. I don't know if I liked it.
Me neither. It's too spread out. I like it all on Sunday. Give me one Thursday, one Monday.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. I can only handle too much. But a little segment I like to call "Too Legit to Quit." You know the old MC Hammer song, "Too legit to quit." Got a few things for you here on the docket, Big Dawg. Team that I can't put my finger on because I count them out. I say they have the worst offensive weapons of the NFL. Then they drop a 40 burger. It's the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm looking for teams here that are trying to throw a thorn in the side of some of these big dogs of the NFL, the Buffalo Bills and the like. Jim Harbaugh in the 2024 playoff run with the Chargers. Is that too legit, or are you going to have to quit on that?
Dude, with the Ravens, the Bills, and the Chiefs on that side, I want it to be legit, but I think I'm going to quit on that. But again, I think they get through the first round, to be honest, but then... I mean, I don't know who they're going to play, but
it'll
I'm
probably
not too
be
big
the
on it.
Bills or the
I
Ravens.
think they're going to be scary for years to come. I think it's good that they made it in the first year of Harbaugh, but quitting on it. Unless they have to play the Steelers, they're making it past the first round.
Roll says Bills are going to roll. I believe so
roll.
also. I mean, I think so. I think one of these teams,
the Ravens
in the
are going to roll.
Could give the Bills a hard time, but I don't think it's the Chargers. I think the Bills would absolutely roll. I'm absolutely going to quit on them as well. But however, you kind of jumped the gun. I know your answer on this one. Then how about Jim Harbaugh on the Chargers 5-year plan? That's legit in my opinion. I think you'd agree with that.
Not quitting at all on that.
No.
Legit, especially with Justin Herbert at the helm. Like, could be very dangerous.
Now, how about Ladd McConkey? Right, Ladd McConkey. I think if we're going to talk about cards here, and if there's a guy to invest in, first of all, I'm 50-50 on Quentin Johnson. I think he's getting slandered so much that it might be worth it to pick up one or two here or there. But I think a guy like Ladd McConkey, he almost isn't getting enough credit. Right? Like, there are people who are really in the know who are like, oh, Ladd McConkey this, Ladd McConkey that. But I still think your average layman, your NFL red zone watcher, and nothing much else, isn't totally all in on how good Ladd McConkey is yet. I think he'd be a really sneaky kind of like guy to get in on with, you got Neighbors, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., who's playing way worse than McConkey. Something we could get in here on the Chargers here. All right, another two legit. Sam Darnold running it back in 2025. We touched on this a little bit last year. I'm not talking about him being like good. I'm talking about the feasibility. Like, is it legit? Is this legit going to happen? Darnold and the Vikings running it back next year.
Dude, I think that's legit, dude. I think Darnold is legit. Dude, they are a 14-win team right now. Dude, Darnold, the way that I don't know if you saw the videos of them celebrating in the locker room after the win. They're bought.
Well, why wouldn't they?
Exactly. I think the team is bought into him right now. I know, obviously, I don't know. The plan is probably J.J. McCarthy.
100%, yes.
Dude, but I think Darnold's legit. And I think if they let him go to a different team, that's probably going to be a big mistake. Like,
yeah, well,
I'm legit. I think that's legit.
I think we touched on it a little bit yesterday. The tough part you run into here is if Darnold is saying, well, the Colts are offering me 4 years, $100 million versus your 2-year or 1-year offer, and Darnold himself, kind of jumps ship. Mm-hmm. Although, I don't know, if you're Darnold, you might want to take that situation in Minnesota.
It's just that, like, the situation in Minnesota is so good. Like, you have Justin Jefferson,
Kevin
Jordan
O'Connell's
Addison, Kevin O'Connell. Like, I think dude, if you take more money to go to the Colts or the Jets,
yeah, right.
Like, come on.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Hot Dog says, hey, dog, surprise the Chargers.
Surprise the Chargers.
What's Hot Dog saying? I don't understand. What does that mean, surprise the Chargers?
Are the Chargers a surprise?
Oh, okay. I mean, not really. This is kind of about what I expected from the Chargers. I don't know what you think, Big Dog.
I think that's kind of what I expected.
Yeah, right.
But they could be, again, we'll have to see. But, again, quitting on them in the playoffs, legit on Darnold, running it back.
And I will say the one thing here, as Roll says, JJ sits. I kind of think Darnold has earned a spot.
Yeah.
That kind of like raises my eyebrows because I was not too big on JJ McCarthy. If you were going to slow play him like you would if you don't get me wrong, right? An injury kind of changes things. Raises my eyebrows to say, well, look at what happened with Jordan Love. Look what happened with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Look at what's happening with Michael Penix. He sat a whole year.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, we don't have to rush it. Look what happens when you, on the reverse side, when you rush people, too, like, what can happen. So, yeah, I think Darnold's earned a spot.
Yeah.
I think they definitely should look to keep him.
I don't know if you back up the Brinks truck for him, but hopefully, it's just so difficult now. Every quarterback gets paid out the wazoo, whether they're Patrick Mahomes or Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence making $55 million is insane to me. That's just the NFL now. So we'll see what happens with Sam Darnold. I would love to see him run it back in Minnesota. Last one, and we kind of briefly touched on this, the NFL on Christmas. No real X's and O's analysis here. Is the NFL on Christmas too legit, or are we quitting on the NFL on Christmas?
Dude, if you're asking me about this year, quitting. But, there's been years where it's been really good, but, this was a disaster. This was a disaster, man. What were we watching?
Where did you go to Christmas this year? Where did you celebrate?
I was at my mom's house.
Okay, there you go.
Of course, we're all Pittsburgh fans.
Yeah.
So,
oh, so that's horrible.
Yeah, so dude, it was just it's just horrible. And then to follow it up, you had to watch the 31-2 game.
I didn't even watch that.
I don't want to this year quitting on it. Honestly,
100%.
Not too happy with the NFL product at all this year. So I'm easy to say that I'm quitting on. Opinions on AR rules asking.
Terrible. I'll be honest, Roll.
He's not even. He doesn't even play
at
the time. He wasn't even playing this week.
I want to like him because I see these moments where he makes these throws and
crazy
and breaks out of the pocket and has these great runs. But
he's terrible.
I was quitting on him when he was in Florida, and I'm quitting on him now. I cannot get behind Anthony Richardson.
I would like him to somehow turn it around and be good, but there's nothing There's nothing really good to say right now.
No, absolutely not. Especially in that system in Indianapolis. Andrew Luck is a miracle because he's the only guy I've ever seen work it out in Indianapolis.
Roll, what do you think? You should
Oh, Roll's a Colts fan? Yeah, Roll, what are you thinking? Yeah, that's a good question.
You would probably like Darnold if you could get Darnold.
Yeah, but that seems like a Colts move to me, by the way. You start with Carson Wentz. You got this guy who kind of shows a flash.
Roster right now, that's Darnold seems like that kind of guy, yeah.
Roll, same here, but about a lot of other things. Yep. I'm very confused. What I'm not confused about is the NFL on Christmas. It's a sham. I went to Grandma's. You think Grandma has an Amazon Fire Stick? You think Grandma has a Roku? No, she does not. It was BYOF, bring your own Fire Stick. I brought it, had to set it up, spent the whole first and second quarter setting up my Fire Stick. By the time I got the game on, Russell Wilson's throwing the ball into triple coverage over here.
In the middle, what does he do?
After getting I think it was roughing the passer, then he just throws it right over to the Chiefs. What a sham. Big Dawg, I'm not going to bash the Steelers. We did it enough yesterday, all right? I think they're broken. I think it's time to call upon Justin Fields.
Dude, I would love to, bro. I'm on the fire Tomlin train. No
fire Tomlin. Get the hell out of here.
It fires people up, dude. Something's got to change, bro. Everybody will love to hear.
Oh, Connie, are you going to the ReliaQuest Bowl today?
Is Connie going to the ReliaQuest Bowl?
Oh, man. Bama and Michigan, he's saying we have big-time bowl action today. That's an oxymoron, big-time bowl action. Are you kidding me?
But yeah, no, let's not talk about the Steelers.
Yeah, no Steelers. No Steelers. So
first round bye, whoever gets them in the
first
playoffs.
round bye. Who, what do you say? They end up the 5 seed?
I think
they'll play the Texans.
Yeah.
That is not a first round bye. I will actually take the Steelers.
I mean, fortunately, that's like the only little saving grace before
we have to play the Texans.
Yeah, before traveling to Buffalo.
That's going to be a little beatdown.
What's the point?
But all right. This was a user submitted question yesterday, and I kind of ripped it off the cuff. But now I've thought about it for a day. While we were talking about Penix and Jaden Daniels, they asked something to the extent, because I was saying, you just saw number 1 and number 2 for rookie card investments right there last night, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix. Then they asked, who is the safest rookie card investment? So I'll let you answer this first before I give my answer. Who do you think is the keyword is safest here for rookie card investment in the year 2024?
Dude, you know there's a rookie that I'm really big on that I think is really safe and I think is going to be good for years to come that I think is being super slept on and is having a record-breaking season.
We have the same guy.
He's not a quarterback.
We have the same guy.
Who is it?
Brock Bowers.
Exactly.
Yep. And I know it's not sexy. I know you should say a quarterback for when we're talking about cards.
But you want to talk about safe, dude?
Yes.
The records he is breaking, the fact that he is like really not even in the conversations for Rookie of the Year is blowing my mind. Dude.
I threw a nice $5 on
Dude, the stats he has, he just broke Mike Ditka's record for like receiving yards, has
Which,
over
by
1,000 yards.
Isn't it Mike Ditka? Like what? Like this record was how long this record
so
stood?
Long ago, dude.
It's Mike Ditka as a player, not as a coach.
The guy, I don't even know the quarterbacks this guy has throwing them the ball. Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. Like, who are these guys?
You're preaching to the choir.
Dude, I cannot believe how insanely silent of a season Brock Bowers is having. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is probably. I think Jaden Daniels is that guy, like a little mini Lamar Jackson. But like, I think Brock Bowers is the answer to that question.
And I think we're on the same exact page, man. The key word here was safest investment. You hit every talking point on the head. You're doing it with the Raiders, Aiden O'Connell and Antonio Pierce. Imagine putting that guy on a team like the Eagles.
He's breaking more records too. Like I think
like what? What's
I don't
that?
know.
He's got more.
I think there's like slow ones for like catches, like most catches in the season. Obviously, he broke the most yards. Like he's just he's gonna be on the top of it for dude. And he's a tight end too. He's
right.
Like,
he's like a receiver body and a tight end. And Roll says, you think Lil Sanders will make it in the NFL? I don't think Shiloh makes it in the NFL. If that's what you're talking about, Roll.
But not Deion.
Shador?
making it. He's making it. But
I think Shador. To answer your question, Roll, I think it'll be a similar career arc to Caleb Williams. Like, I could see Shador Sanders having a rookie year where it'll be very 50-50. He'll have plays where it's like, no, what are you doing? Like, come on, Shador. Why'd you try to make that throw? And then there'll be flashes of like, okay, there we go, Shador. And he's gonna have to learn. It might not be as instant as you want it with Shador, but I do like Shador. I think he's got it between the ears as well, as much as people say otherwise. But we'll find out. I do kind of want to talk on that in a second, but I wanted to ask, flip side, riskiest rookie card investment, you think?
As much as I like him, I think Bo Nix is kind of risky. Being on the Denver Broncos, like it's a good situation now, but like that team kind of scares me. I don't know like how consistent they may be. I don't even know if they're squeaking into the playoffs this year with how good they're going to be.
I know, dude.
Michael Penix is kind of risky. Don't know too much about him, but that's who I would be getting in right now. Like that's a risk I'm willing to take is Michael Penix right now.
Me too, absolutely.
Dude, I like Bo Nix a lot, but I'm a little scared about him.
Look, I don't hate Bo Nix. I just think I agree. I think he's the riskiest as well. Like we saw Kenny Pickett his rookie year look pretty good on the Steelers. Similar kind of formula where it's like chunk the ball downfield, rely on your defense. And I think Bo Nix has made some better throws than Pickett. Like you saw that one to Marvin Mims this past weekend.
But here's the only thing I'll say was Bo Nix is in a better situation, I believe, than Drake May is. And Drake May is somebody that I want to believe it. Like Drake May is somebody that I don't want to say is risky because I think he could be like everybody is saying that he's gonna be that guy, but like I don't know what's going on in that New England situation. I know we might be getting into that and
I don't know what's going on in that New England situation either. Big Dog.
It's one of those two, in my opinion, for the riskiest. Like,
So then, all right, how about this then? Real quick. Are you losing this game on purpose if you're the New England Patriots? And I know no team ever loses a game on purpose. And I know the Patriots might not necessarily be in the market for a quarterback, which is what typically these days you take with the number 1 overall pick.
I can't purposely lose a game on purpose. Like, I feel like even if they try, they're probably still going to lose. Like, you might as well still play.
Who are they playing again? Oh, they're playing the Bills and all the Bills backups. I don't know.
Dude,
Drake May almost beat the Bills and their starters a couple weeks ago.
You play to win. Like, you have to win.
I know.
Even the Giants won like a couple days ago. Like, you got to win. Like, you got to win. Like, you can't.
If you're Robert Kraft, though, and you're like, hey.
It's different from a player's
You call
perspective
it
and an
down.
owner's
I know.
perspective, too. Like, if I'm a player, like, I want to win. If you're, like, an owner, I'm probably like, oh, God, like, let's get that draft pick and, like.
Well, Roll, listen, I'm not saying these athletes want to throw a game, right? That's not at all what I'm saying, and I get it. Like, it's not possible. The 76ers tried to do it when they went 10-72. These are still human beings you're putting on the court who have a will to win, who are gifted athletically from the top to bottom. And Hoff is right. The Giants are stupid. They need a quarterback. But don't tell these guys, and I think specifically, don't tell these coaches not to win. Now, the question becomes if Robert Kraft is calling down to Jared Mayo and saying, Jared, if you want to keep your job,
you lose
this game, right? Because is Jared or Gerard? I don't know. I can never get it right. I think it's Gerard Mayo. Yeah. They say that. There's an Athletic article that came out this last weekend saying that Gerard Mayo might be on the hot seat and the Patriots should be looking to Mike Vrabel. I don't know if it can get dicey, and Robert Kraft is saying, listen, Gerard, I'm going to be blunt with you. I'm not too pleased with how the team looked this season. I know we weren't expecting to make the playoffs, but I needed to see a little more. Look, if we're going to go any further as a team, I want that first overall pick to at least have some bargaining power going into this offseason. It's got to be a weird position to be in.
See, that's a GM. That's the GM mindset, though. You know what I mean? That's the mindset of the owner in that sense. That's not the player mindset.
And Roll brings up a good point, though. We saw this actually play out allegedly with the Miami Dolphins and Brian Flores a few years ago. Roll says, "Well, then you got to jump ship," and that's a good point.
But didn't they tank on purpose and then get caught doing it?
But that's what I mean. And I think Brian Flores was kind of just like caught in the middle of it. As the head coach, he was like, I want to keep my job. I also don't want to lose games on purpose.
And then he ended up losing his job.
And I think that's ridiculous. Pats keep number 1 pick and then traded away for a boatload since they don't need a quarterback. I agree with that, Hoff. But to be honest with you, I would not be surprised if the Patriots win this weekend going against the Buffalo Bills backups. Mitch Trubisky or Drake May, I think we're all taking Drake May in that matchup. So I actually think the Patriots end up losing that pick. We'll look into that a little bit more as the week goes on. I think it'll be fun to look at some things like player incentives, what some guys have to play for.
Yes,
and
there's
also
a couple major ones.
I know. And also, first round pick ramifications. But let's look into college football playoff, Big Dawg.
Oh boy.
Here we go. It has been... Now, I like the 12-team playoff a lot. I think the 12-team playoff opens up a lot more opportunity and a lot more excitement, but there's no other way of sugarcoating it. Those games sucked. First week of college football playoff sucked. So this is the on-campus games are over. This is going to be played in Glendale, Arizona.
Now they're like the big bowl games.
Yeah. This is where the Super Bowl was played 2 years ago, I believe, actually. Yeah. And Penn State versus Boise State. Game starts at 7:30. Thank you, college football playoff, for not kicking this game off later. 7:30 is perfect. NFL, take a page out of their book here. Some people have to wake up tomorrow, believe it or not. So shout out to college football for that. They got something right. The line is 11. Penn State's an 11-point favorite tonight. Over-under is set at 53.5. And Big Dawg, before we even look at any betting lines, before we talk about who's winning and who's losing, the question that I think that's on everyone's mind, will this game be a blowout?
We were talking about it earlier. Again, I'm not a big Penn State fan. I do not like James Franklin. I'm always rooting for Penn State to lose. My thoughts here, one, I will be betting Boise State, the plus 11. I will never click the Penn State button. With that being said, they either cover that 11 or it's just a complete blowout. Like, I don't think there's any in between. And I think, dude,
the 11 is a big number.
Dude, again, it's Penn State versus Boise State. Again, look at who Penn State has put. Look at Penn State's schedule and how they got to where they got. And I mean,
I'm not to be honest with you. I am generally pretty unimpressed.
You're still playing in stadiums against teams. You're playing
That's
against
a
these
fair
crazy
point.
culture schools.
Good morning. What's up, Chucky? Happy New Year's, man. Chucky's bright and early in here. So Chucky's on our page as well. He says, Boise State money line. Chucky says,
dude, I'm
and
here
the
for
under.
it all day long, dude. If you, I'm here for it. The Boise State money line. Like, if they can take down Penn State, like, I will be the biggest fan of that. There would be nothing more that would make me happier.
We are not able to win a big game.
But dude, that is so true. I would love for that to. Was last week a big game though?
That's
the first
what I was
round?
about to say. I don't think it was that big of a game. For me, that is a normal Penn State home game in their element.
Yeah,
freezing temperatures against a team from Texas that, quite frankly, I never thought was all that good. For Penn State, that was just that's worse than a normal Big Ten game for them, right? You're playing in your element. Now take you out of that element. I think there will be a good amount of Boise State fans. Don't get me wrong. I think there will be more Penn State fans in that game. Who did Penn State beat in the top 5? Absolutely nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody roll like against. They played Maryland. They barely beat Minnesota, right? And nobody, says Chucky. I love it. And all I had to hear is after the Big Ten championship. Oh wow, Penn State, great job against Oregon. Oh, Penn State laid out the blueprint to beat Oregon. Hello, Boise State. It took a game-winning field goal as time expired from Oregon to beat Boise State. I would make the case that Boise State beating UNLV twice this season is just as impressive as anything Penn State has really done, truthfully, all season. I do not think there is a huge gap between these two teams, and I think Chucky's saying it. Ginty is going to run all over Penn State.
Dude, that's what I'd love to see it. That guy.
People have asked all year, do you think Ginty would be putting up these numbers if he played in the SEC, if he played in the Big Ten? The answer is yes.
But the answer is, we also get to see that answer tonight.
Good point. Yes.
I think that's the key. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if the answer is yes, good. Like, Boise State is going to be looking good tonight. Like, that's what they need. So
I believe the game against Oregon, Ginty off the top, I had around 170, 180 yards in that game, a touchdown or two. So I will be honest, I was all over the Travis Hunter Heisman argument. I'm not even a snap count merchant, as the kids call it. I just thought he's a elite player receiver, an elite player at corner. That's unreal. Watching that bowl game against BYU, I was like, I don't know, man. It might have been Ginty. I think he'd be putting up those numbers against most NFL teams. Hoff, I'm with you too. Let me float this out here. If we're going to talk about Ashton Ginty for 1 second, when I watch Ginty play, which is just, it's a treat. How about this player comparison, right? If you want to get in on the ground floor of these Ginty cards, Derrick Henry. Can we be seeing like a Derrick Henry, like the next kind? Derrick Henry, look, he's still doing it late in his career. It's coming to the end. Could the baton get passed now to Ashton Ginty?
I think that's a similar thing. I think obviously Derrick Henry is like a more solid beast, but I think that that's not a crazy comp. I think they do run similarly. I think when you see Ginty standing in the backfield like Michael Myers, like standing there, I think that looks like.
I love that.
Have you seen those
I should have pulled that up. Yeah, that's on me.
He's literally just I feel like I can picture Derrick Henry doing that, and that's like, dude, that's scary, dude. Like I couldn't imagine being like a linebacker on the other side. So.
And Chucky's saying pump the brakes on that one. Maybe Fournette. I don't hate that, actually. Okay, Fournette's a good shout.
Fournette had a good Super Bowl champion.
Fantastic. It was just kind of compressed into like a 3-year window. Wasn't Fournette was kind of a slow starter in the NFL? Yeah.
Started out in Jacksonville, I believe.
Yeah, and he didn't. Well, yeah, no one was
on that crazy Jacksonville team with Blake Bortles when they went to the AFC Championship.
Forgot about that. And then he had a resurgence with the Buccaneers where he really started to hit his stride.
With playoff Lenny, dude. Nothing better than playoff Lenny, dude.
So, man, it sounds like it's a little nervous. It sounds like in college, not NFL. But then, I would sign up for a playoff Lenny career. Just a little bit.
Leonard was insane in college, too, at LSU.
Absolute legend, dude. Playoff Lenny's a legend. Better than Eddie Lacy. Oh, man. Dude, Rip Eddie Lacy. That was a... Whatever happened to Eddie Lacy?
Dude, whatever happened to him?
I thought he was going to be the real deal. But nonetheless, look, we're on Boise State tonight. We're on I kind of like the under tonight, but it's mostly Boise State. I'll also sprinkle Boise State money line. Here's the question that I don't like to ask, but I think it's a fair question to ask. Ultimately, does this game really matter in the scheme of the college football playoff? Because I'll be honest with you, Big Dawg, I feel like no. And it's no disrespect to Boise State. I like them a lot. I think they can win tonight. It is disrespect to Penn State because Notre Dame or Georgia is just waiting in the wings.
Yeah, so but
I feel like either of these teams would eat them up.
I agree with what you're saying, but like again, if you're Penn State, like I think I would be much happier getting Boise State than having to get Oregon, Ohio State.
If you're Penn
Notre
State
Dame or Georgia, yeah.
Well, I just mean like I don't really think either of these teams can win the whole thing.
I agree with that too. Yeah.
Okay.
So I see. So that's what you're saying. It doesn't because of either way
I think Georgia or Notre Dame, regardless of who wins the Georgia Notre Dame game, I think Georgia Notre Dame is gonna.
I know that we are maybe to discuss who our picks are to win it all, dude. Notre Dame is somebody who I
really
would. Notre Dame is somebody I would click the button on. Notre Dame is somebody who I could wake up and I could confidently open up the app and click the button on them and not feel bad about it. Like,
Roll asked a quick question here. He says, opinion on NIL. Well, Roll, I mean, we could do a whole 4-hour show on that. My brief answer will be, don't like it because it makes me feel icky. I feel like it's dirty, but I also do like it because from every person in the know says, look, teams have been paying players for 80 years pretty much. This is just kind of getting on the books and giving some of the littler guys a chance to catch up. So from that aspect, I do like it, but all in all, it just skews me out a little bit. I don't know, you know? And Roll seems like he's on the same page. Amen. All right, Benjamin, are you able to get the futures up from this is from the old Florida Sportsbook here, because you kind of mentioned it, who you're looking at futures. This surprised me. I had not looked at college football futures. This is a good example, by the way, of why I do not bet futures middle of the season. You can always wait, I think, to the playoffs and still get some good numbers.
I agree, for sure.
Did it shock you that Texas is the odds-on favorite right now to win the national championship?
That shocks me.
Nothing against Texas. I think they're a good team. I think they're live to win it, but like, dang, like I guess it's because they play Arizona State.
I'm not in on Texas, but I think, I'm big on Arizona State, dude.
You are?
Yes.
Oh, but man, like you and Connie.
Yeah.
Too much time with Connie at night.
Dude, forks up, dude. Come on, man.
Who do you got here? Who do you like from this list?
I like Notre Dame.
If you like Arizona State, man, plus 6,000, why not put a buck or two on them? Out of this list here, I love Oregon. Like plus 425.
Dude, I love them too, and I love Oregon this week as underdogs.
Me too. I
like Oregon and I like Notre Dame. Those are two teams.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what.
You can get good numbers on them,
The reason
too.
I like those two teams specifically really comes down. I love both teams' coaching styles. I think that is what elevates those teams. And I love Dan Lanning and I love Freeman at Notre Dame, dude. Like I think those guys are dogs themselves, and I think it's like having an extra player on the field. Like. Those guys are so into the game. Like, they're just, like, young. They have those innovative minds. That's why I like Arizona State, too, because they have that first-year coach. I think Kenny Dillingham, and, like, he's got, like, a good attitude.
And Cam Scatterbo.
But again, I will feel perfectly content. All right. No, I never get content. We do not get content. But I will feel confident waking up in the morning and clicking the Notre Dame or the Oregon buttons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going a little Notre Dame Oregon parlay this weekend. Maybe sprinkle a little bit, or this weekend tomorrow.
Dude, that's certainly something I'm looking at tomorrow. That is
right.
100% like something I'm looking at is an Oregon Notre Dame parlay, especially with Oregon being dogs. Like, that is something I'm all over.
Good morning to you, Roll. Appreciate you joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to look at tomorrow's games. I just kind of before, the Boise State game tonight, I kind of wanted to look at the futures because I couldn't believe it. I will be placing a little something on the Oregon to win the national championship future because, like I said, I think they can beat Ohio State. Then from there, they play probably Texas. I don't think Texas is that good.
I don't think
Oregon's undefeated for a reason. And then plus 425, I think, is a great value on them. What was I going to say here? Oh, yeah, no, I don't believe how Texas is could put a little on Boise. I don't hate that. They're a magical team this season. I did see something, though, that was interesting. Chip Kelly is 0-5 when he plays his former teams. I think that's just in any capacity, NFL and NCAA.
Okay.
0-5 against former teams is Chip Kelly. Obviously, the offensive coordinator of Ohio State. Just a little food for thought tomorrow. And part of the reason why I would be taking Oregon against Kelly.
I hope that's true because I'd love to see Ohio
State.
Yeah,
I got to do a deep dive. I kind of just saw that like scrolling the Twitter. I'll do a little bit bigger deep dive on that. Quick little halftime story for you, ladies and gentlemen. I caught this. I was bored as hell yesterday, so I was just like, I don't know what to watch. There's not really any good college games on. I ended up watching the entire Monday Night Football pregame show, which, by the way, for the most part, it's not. I don't think it's that good. Like, I hate to say this because they got a bunch of guys that I love on there. Like, I love Scott Van Pelt. I like Ryan Clark.
Oh, ESPN.
Yeah, I really like
usual
Jason
suspects.
Kelsey. But like, dude, it just was like a train wreck in my opinion, for the most part. Just a bunch of there was less structure on the Monday Night Football show than we got on Talkin Slab here most days, to be honest with you.
We gotta go in here.
Come on! But they do have really good pieces. The piece they did last night was on the Dan Campbell lookalike contest. I had not seen this before. I apologize if I'm late to the party, if some of you guys have seen this before. But Ben, if you don't mind getting the picture up from the Dan Campbell lookalike contest. This is awesome, man. How, like, these guys really look like Dan Campbell here. And I get it, he's not that unique of a looking guy, but these guys nailed it. With the Starbucks and everything here.
Dude, with the Starbucks is crazy, dude.
One guy brought the bit kneecap off over here on the left. So apparently this was, they brought this into a local Chicago restaurant. They all had to give locker room speeches, like reactions to winning the Super Bowl as Dan Campbell. So I can't believe it. They interviewed Dan Campbell after the contest, saying like, yeah, what did you think about this? What do you make about people doing a lookalike contest about you? And he said, where were those people in 2021? Yeah. I love that Dan Campbell energy, dude, man. Dan like, where were you at my lowest? Big Dawg, would you ever enter a lookalike contest?
Probably not. I don't know who I would enter it for.
I want to. That's the thing. Like, I would want to. Like, if it just seems so fun to me. Good morning, Jake. What's going on?
It needs to be somebody big. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think Dan Campbell is like big in like today's culture and like today's world. So like, this is awesome. Like, you know what I mean? Like this gets feasted upon in the media. Like, everybody's in on Dan Campbell. Everybody likes to see this. So I think this is cool. But only enter it if it's something big like that. If it's something that's trending in the world. Like, if it's somebody, you know, I don't know. Maybe if the same thing was happening in Tampa, we could see. But
it'd be a Gruden grinder
exactly.
Lookalike contest. I don't know, something like that.
The John Gruden lookalike contest in Tampa.
I just couldn't believe, like, these guys like nailed it. I give them props. A lot of Dan Campbell lookalikes. They would have had me fooled. All right, let's see what we got here. So we got the college football playoff. We do have 3 college football bowl games today. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sit here and give out picks on these bowl games.
Yeah, it's too hard.
All these transfers, all these opt-outs, I quite frankly can't keep up. However, did you see what happened in the college football bowl game circuit this past weekend?
Like, did I just see kind of what was
going
on?
Have you had your eyes, or have you not been?
Dude, I got a chance to watch some of the Pop-Tart Bowl.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
That's like the main one I needed to get some eyes on. That was a very good game too. High scoring, electric. Got to watch some of Miami. And
so that's. I'm glad you brought that game up, because there's a guy I want to talk about in that game, Cam Ward. Because it's lighting a controversy in the media this week. Some buzz on this one. Cam Ward breaks the Division I passing record for touchdowns in the first half. Miami's rolling. It's a high-scoring, exciting game, like you were saying. A lot of people in Miami feel like they were snubbed at the college football playoff, blah, blah, blah. Second half comes around. Cam Ward subbed out of the game. Miami fighting tooth and nail. Loses the game by one.
Mm-hmm.
Did this rub you the wrong way at all, or do you not care?
It does, but at the same time, it's like what it is. So like, it's just like what it is in college football. So like, it rubs me the wrong way, but at the same time, I've been around the block once or twice and seen this happen. So it's like, okay, like here it goes again. So I don't know. Cam Ward, though, is somebody I'm big on. I like Cam Ward a lot. Yes, I very much so like Cam Ward.
I like Cam Ward, too. I would have liked if he played in the second half.
Me, too.
Like, that would have been so baller
dude.
If it was like he like checked out of the game and all of a sudden it's 35-34 and he's like, hey, coach, come on, one more ride with the boys.
Yeah, one more.
Come on, Cam. Check yourself back into the game. Your team's losing the game here in the Pop-Tart Bowl, nonetheless. One of the greatest bowl games we still have left.
Did you see the highlight of when the announcers were talking in the booth and they had the Pop-Tart Bowl trophy?
Oh, yeah.
And the Pop-Tarts just randomly shot out like in the middle while they're talking. Dude,
this is a very pro Pop-Tart Bowl show in case you missed it, Big Dawg.
Yes.
It was so cringy. They had the Pop-Tart at the end trying to get the crowd hyped, and the crowd was like, Crickets, you know, he's like, all right, cinnamon, jump in the toaster, and they're like waiting for a big crowd pop, and then the MC was like, remember when Jeb Bush was on his campaign trail? He had to say, please clap. That's what happened at the Pop-Tart Bowl. They were like, I think the Pop-Tart's trying to get everyone hyped, everyone. Let's try that again. It was a tough scene over here. I'm over here from my couch like, yeah, come on, Pop-Tart, jump in the toaster. Crickets. It was a tough scene over here, man. That was in Orlando, Florida. Come on. This is a Disneyland and Disney World and Universal.
Former Cheez-It Bowl, actually, too.
That's not true.
No,
that's not true.
Not
Cheez-It Bowl, I think, is happening today or happened yesterday.
Is it?
Yeah, I think they're calling it the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl now.
Okay.
Just changed sponsorships.
Okay.
Other thing I saw, Colorado got smacked by BYU. Roll was asking about this earlier today. This made me think a little bit. Because I'm very pro Shedeur Sanders. I am very pro Travis Hunter. Two guys that I know we are going to be chasing a ton next season. I'm sure people already have some cards of them. I don't know what they're signing in, whether it be like Leaf this or some Bowman U or whatever. Two guys that I've been very bullish on. Colorado, I love what they're doing. Coach Prime says, oh, we're going to come out and we're going to play in this bowl game, even though it's not the college football playoff. And they get dog walked by BYU. Did this kind of raise your eyebrows and say, like, oh, man, maybe Travis Hunter is not quite as good as I thought. Maybe Shedeur Sanders isn't as good as I thought. Or you just like, whatever, dude, it's a bowl game.
Again, whatever, it's a bowl game.
All right.
Like, it's not you're not in the playoffs. Like, you're not playing for anything. Like, it's a bowl game. Like, again, I'm all for like not sitting out and playing the game and not trying. But again, if you lose like the toilet bowl, like, or the Pop-Tart bowl or whatever bowl you're in, like
I know the Alamo Bowl is what it was
sports
in.
bowl, like,
yeah.
It doesn't. I don't think. What bowl were they in? The camping bowl.
It was
like,
the Alamo Bowl. I'm pretty
Alamo
sure.
Bowl, like,
so Dickerson chimes in. He says, "I got a Bowman U Travis Hunter sticker auto, which is freaking awesome. By the way, I don't care sticker or not. Any Travis Hunter Colorado auto, I think that's going to be sweet if it's in good condition. I would think about slapping that up. To be honest with you, Dickerson. But let me ask you though, did you like as someone who's personally holding that card? Dickerson, did you kind of feel like, like maybe the Travis Hunter thing might not last as good as I thought, because I am just like a little bit cautious as someone who's been so gung-ho about him. It kind of freaked me out just a little bit there. But Dickerson, you actually holding the card. I'd love to hear your perspective. What were we going to say, Big Dawg?
I was going to say, what the crazy thing is that was the last glimpse,
That's
very
what I
last
mean,
glimpse
you know?
that you're getting of them before you're paying them. I mean, obviously it'll be a rookie contract, but before you're paying them a ton of money to try to carry your team.
So if you have, and guys, feel free to weigh in on this. If you're holding a Travis Hunter, if you're holding a Shedeur Sanders, is this potentially the peak of their value? And I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly here. I just know a lot of people have been preying on their downfalls. I have not. This was just the first time I've kind of had my eyebrows raised to say, I don't think BYU's that good. And look, it is just a bowl game, but it did kind of make me wonder about Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, who a lot of mock drafts have had them going 1-2, which I think is a little bit crazy, but who knows, man? They're definitely talented.
How about Shedeur wearing the New York Giants cleats and then the Giants winning and maybe not having the number 1 draft pick? Like,
that's a good point.
Like, what is going? What are we watching? Like, what are we Like, what is happening? Like,
I tell you what, it's going to be really interesting to see how this shakes out here.
Chandi,
good morning, Chandi. It's the Big Dawg debut. What's going on, Chandi? Good to see you back in here. But yeah, man, I don't know about this. It's got me feeling icky over here. I don't know what to make of it.
I understand.
I want to believe in Shedeur. Do you believe? I want to believe in Shedeur. I want to believe in Travis Hunter. I just don't know if this is the peak of their value. All right, let's see what Dickerson's got to say. Buying a ton of baseballs, y'all. Now I've been selling some stuff. It was my first Mega Bowman U box. Didn't know what I had until I showed my buddy. That's actually crazy. I love Bowman U for that reason. Also, sometimes you'll see guys or actually girls now that you don't even know, where it's like, to be honest, I'm not familiar with their game. Next thing you know, they're the next big thing. You get them early sophomore, junior year.
Yeah, in college basketball.
It's one of my favorite products. Some people love it, some people hate it. I personally love it, Dickerson, but appreciate you there. And Dickerson, it's Big Dawg's debut, by the way. If you guys are hopping in, we got 15 spots left in our Bowman draft.
We gotta get that moving, chat.
There we go. $5,000 of break credit going to you guys if you hit any Superfractor auto in Bowman today.
Champagne swirls are coming out today. today.
Love it. Get the flutes ready.
Get the flutes ready.
All right, Big Dawg. Winners and losers, going back to this NFL Week 17 here. That'll kind of put a bow on the college football talk for today. We're definitely going to dive a lot more into it tomorrow. But winners and losers from NFL in Week 17 here. Look, don't say the fans, because I think this was a big losing week for NFL fans for the most part.
Losers,
apart from one game this weekend, which is the Bengals.
Strike.
No, easy now, easy now. We got a football channel coming up soon.
You said the good one is the Bengals and the Broncos?
That was the only good game, I feel like, all weekend pretty much. I mean, the Falcons-Commanders game, but who winners and losers of NFL Week 17? You got anyone, or do you want me to take this off?
Vikings are winners in my book. Packers are losers.
Okay.
That was a big game. Like, I think that was a big prove-it game for both teams.
Yeah.
I was talking a lot about the Packers. I bet a lot on the Packers. I really
Me
thought
too.
Jordan
Me
Love
too.
was
Yep.
zinger in that. So I think that was a big game that you need to win. Steelers are losers. 3 big, very big losses going into the playoffs. Like you said, it might be time to bring Justin Fields back.
I think it is.
I
think it absolutely is.
The fact that you're asking that in the Week 17 is definitely code red going into the playoffs. Lions stay winners in my book. Who else do you got?
All right, my biggest winner of this entire week. Let me see here. You took like 4 of them, Big Dawg. So you got me searching right now. I think the biggest winner actually is, I'm going to take an easy one, Kansas City Chiefs. They took care of business so early in the week. All this talk about Mahomes' ankle, Mahomes this, Mahomes that. Andy Reid's still the freaking coach of that team.
Kelsey's back on the board.
Kelsey's back on the board. They made it look easy against the Steelers, and now they're off for weeks. And for some teams, I would say that's dangerous. Rest versus rust. For the Kansas City Chiefs, there is nothing dangerous. They get like 3 weeks off pretty much going into their playoff run. Look, do not be picking against the Chiefs. And the losers to me, definitely the Houston Texans. You put up 2 points. You put up 2 points in the game. It's both Christmas
I actually
teams.
forgot about it. I didn't even want to think about
Good.
it. They are the mega loser of the week, dude. That is... Jeez, that was so bad. I can't believe we had to watch that.
All right, Big Dawg. Let me take a look at one fun little thing here. I forgot. If you were able to get the LeBron video up, Ben, we forgot to wish a big happy birthday yesterday. And I'm not talking about my buddy Ryan from home. I'm talking about LeBron James. LeBron James turned 40 years old yesterday.
That's crazy.
Which is nuts, man. And look, I'm a big MJ is the GOAT. But to see what LeBron James does as he gets older, it does have me starting to think, like, man, LeBron James, like, who can do this? This was LeBron yesterday talking about his legacy. And, well, who knows how long his career might last? Interesting answer. Listen to LeBron here. Five to 7 years. Five to 7 years. All right, Big Dawg. Do you think LeBron could actually play, right? And for 5 to 7 years, or is this classic capping LeBron here?
Dude, I feel like in basketball, I mean, it's not like football where your body's getting abused. Like, I mean, it definitely is physical on your body, but it's not like football where you're going like head to head into somebody, like getting roughed up like every week. Dude, for him, I think it's possible just because
5 to 7 years?
A
45-year-old playing in the NBA?
It's also like when LeBron was doing like the National Tight End Day thing, and he's like, shout out like Brock
George Kittle.
And then if you go online and type in like NFL tight ends, it's
Dude,
like the
it's
same
hilarious.
list. So dude, like, or when he's look, Cap
Travis Kelce, just to name a few, I could go all day. Dude, this is my favorite video.
Look, Cap is a real thing, dude. Look, Cap, that's a real personality of LeBron. So And the way he's kind of answering that interview is kind of in that LeCap style.
He was feeling himself.
Yeah,
He's ready for a bottle of red and a night with Savannah. He's just like, I could probably go 5 to 7 years. He even says, it might sound crazy, I'm about to say this. It's like talking about the Kobe Bryant 80-point game. I said to my buddy, he'd go for 80.
Dude, yeah. Dude, I think it would be awesome to see, though. I'm here for it if he can do it. Like that, we are witnessing history if he does that. You know what I mean? Like we'll be able to tell our kids. Like we will tell our kids that we witnessed the LeBron James era. Like when that next generation
100%.
is looking at it. So I think it's important. Like,
do you think LeBron sustaining his play for let's take it down a little bit? I think actually 3 years might be realistic because I was thinking, could this be his last year? LeBron, he's waiting for his son to play. He gets his son here. Obviously, it's not working out as well with his son. By the way, shut up, Bronny. Quietly tearing up the G League after getting ripped apart by everyone.
Good for him.
Do you think that this would actually affect, let's say for all intents and purposes, he never makes another NBA Finals, right? But he puts up similar stat lines for 3 years straight. Does this affect LeBron's legacy? Does this affect LeBron's GOAT status?
In my opinion, he needs another championship. He needs one.
So you're saying 3 years of averaging 20 and 10 and 8 is not going, at 42 years old, is not going to do anything for LeBron and how we view him?
I mean, am I crazy for saying you play to win the game, not to go for not to
you
go
play 20? To win the game,
dude? Like at this point, he needs one. The last time he's won one was the COVID year, which I don't even really remember.
Mickey Ray?
Yeah. And the last time before that was 2016 with the Cavaliers. Like he hasn't won one.
Point.
He has not won one recently in our lives. Like literally, we were kids. Like we were little kids. Like we were in high school. Like not even graduated yet. He needs another one to cement that legacy.
So putting up numbers on TNT Thursday nights is one thing.
Yeah.
Another big finals run would be another.
You need one. You need to win. You need to close. And again, he has not hoisted that trophy since COVID, which is like that Mickey Mouse, like the Mickey Mouse run. And like,
I tell you what though, that Tops Now, LeBron Tops Now card.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that card's awesome. It's one of my favorite cards that I've ever seen. I know Tops Now gets a bad rap some days, but the Bronny and LeBron dual Tops Now card, the way Bronny's playing the G League, everyone made these jokes. Listen, I'm not saying they're going to be this like dynamic duo. It's not going to be the next Shaq and Kobe. But I do think we see a world where Bronny and LeBron actually do see minutes together 2 years from now. Will be hilarious to watch. Look, 5 to 7 years, I think, is LeCap. But it did have me thinking. I don't think LeBron's retiring anytime soon. I think he's going to play 2 or 3 more strong years, which is nuts.
He needs to win a championship, dude. He needs to. I was saying it a couple days ago. It reminds me of Peyton Manning. Like, Peyton Manning needed that Super Bowl. Like, that last Super Bowl.
I'm imagining LeBron like winning it, playing like a Robert Horry role, like being like the fourth option and getting carried the way that Peyton Manning did. That would be hilarious, man.
Dude, he needs one more though, in my opinion.
By the way, pat myself on the back here. 2 months of Talkin Slab. First time LeBron James has been brought up on the show. I'm pretty sure. So there you go. No LeBron on this show. All right, come on.
Days without LeBron James.
Back to zero. Back to zero. It's not bad, man. That's not bad. Have you watched any of the NBA? I'm not talking NBA. I'm just genuinely asking.
I'm going to be honest. Christmas Day, loved it. Was locked in.
Me too, actually. I watched the Sixers.
And it had to do with football
being so bad,
and there only not being a night game. I don't know why there wasn't a night game of football. Like I would have rather that there have been a 4:30 game and an 8:20 game than a 1 p.m. game and a 4:30 game. So after the 4:30 game, I was like, what do I watch? And I was like, let's watch the Lakers and Warriors game, dude. And I got some LeBron and Steph Curry nostalgic action.
There you go.
That's always what I'm looking for on Christmas. Again, it's not what it used to be, like back in the day when it was Cavs and Warriors. But dude, watching that game, I mean, it was classic. Steph Curry hit a 3 with like 4 seconds left to tie the game, and then Austin Reeves walked it off with a buzzer beater to win it. So that was the first game I literally have watched in full in the NBA. And I definitely enjoyed it. And then I watched a little bit of that Nuggets and Suns game that was right after.
Was that the game where there was a fight in it? There's been 2 fights this last week. And that's what I was going to say. There's been all this talk about how bad the NBA is, which I am leading that charge. I think the NBA is trash. Silver, you know how you bring back the NBA? You start fighting. You don't suspend these guys. Back in my day, with Bill Lambier giving the people's elbow to Isaiah Thomas. You know, that's what I'm talking about. You want me to watch the NBA? You get Tyler Hero squaring up on the court. That's what we're talking about. That's true passion.
What are guys squaring up on the court?
You dude, and look, guys got hurt. You know, some guy like got blinded. I remember back in the day, which is terrible. You never want that. But that is how you get some more interest back in the NBA. Let's be honest here. All right, Big Dawg. Dude, you don't know, this was a terrible story, actually. Some dude, like, you know, he just walking across half court, I forget who the player was, just bang, right shoulder, elbow, right into his temple. Guy can never see again out of that eye or something like that. It's horrible. But, yeah, there you go. But on that note, let's condone violence in the NBA. Anyways, Big Dawg, hot stove talk. We're going to be ripping baseball today.
Yep.
So we got to get into some hot stove talk. Big news coming out of the, I was about to say the association. No, the league, as in the Major League of Baseball. Corbin Burns, 6 years, $210 million leading the charge.
That's a lot of money.
What was your reaction? Yeah, I guess your reaction is, that's a lot of money.
The second reaction was that division got strong with the
I know, it's
with
wild.
The Diamondbacks, the Padres.
That division's going to be crazy. That's going to be one, and the Giants are building.
Yeah, they're building.
Trying to think, like, you could have a bunch of playoff teams. You'd have 3 playoff teams from the NL West.
NL West,
and you could have 3 playoff teams from the NL East. Maybe two. I don't know. No, you could have 3 playoff. Like you're obviously not going to, but I think you could have the Dodgers win the division in the NL West. You have the Mets win the NL East, and then there's not enough playoff spots for all these other teams here. Mm-hmm. Like between the Braves, Phillies, and the Diamondbacks and the Giants, it's going to get really, and the Padres, excuse me, it's going to get really tough. Because you're right, that's the Corbin Burns move is on the heels of adding Josh Naylor now to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks, I like what they're doing. Are they now the second best team in the NL West in your opinion?
I think so. I like the Diamondbacks. I liked them 2 years ago. I liked them last year. They're just like a sleeper team that has not been good the past couple years. I know I've talked about some teams like
2 years ago World Series run. Last year.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think they are the second best team right now. They're going to have a crazy pitching rotation too, and I'm rooting for them.
As a Phillies fan, I'm not rooting for them. After I still hold a grudge after a couple years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think you're right, and it's crazy to say with Tatis and Machado over there with the Padres. Corbin Carroll, look, I think he's going to have a major bounce-back season. That shoulder's healthy. Ketel Marte, one of the most underrated players in the league.
They have the talent that they need there to make that happen.
Jake, why not? I mean, the Padres and the Diamondbacks, I'm not a fan of either of them, but I do think, the Dodgers are number 1 team by far in the entire MLB. There's no doubt about that. But I think you got to go with the Diamondbacks now. And if you're the Padres, that Roki Sasaki pitch, I think, just got 10 times more intense. Good morning, Mr. Buttersworth. Happy New Year's Eve to you. But yeah, the Arizona Diamondbacks getting Corbin Burns, 6 years, $210 million. Might it be a little bit of an overpay? I guess. But after seeing what Max Fried got from the New York Yankees, I can't really even figure out that pitching market. And I think the Boston Red Sox reeling now as a result of that move. Mm-hmm. Red Sox pay Walker Buehler 1 year, $21 million. That's a lot of money.
That's
again.
Awesome too.
Yeah. What did you think about that one here? And then Jake says, honestly, Corbin to do better this year so I can sell his to 10 card? I don't know, man. I might hold on to that. I love Corbin Carroll. I hate to say it. But, dude, to me, I saw that Buehler to Red Sox move, and I said, that's a desperate move right there. This is a team right now that I think is overpaying for everything. They're kind of like that on the outside looking in on some of these big names, and they have to pay an extra tax because of it. You saw it with the Garrett Crochet deal. Now you're seeing $21 million for Walker Buehler coming off 2 of his worst seasons as starters we've ever seen. What was your thought on that one, Big Dawg?
Dude, I don't know. I think the Red Sox are a team that always is going to be building and is going to work to get in contention. So I think, again, 1 year they're taking a chance on it. They're looking to make something happen. I think, I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going to go down there. But again, I think the Boston sports never are looking for failure there. So they're always going to be looking for something big to happen.
I gotcha. Yeah. I guess. I mean, they've kind of quiet the last 2 years. So this is kind of messaging to the fans like, hey, we're all in this year, which you got to respect it. I think if you're a Red Sox fan, when you're seeing what the New York Yankees are doing, I've been very impressed with Cashman Steinbrenner. But they lose Gleyber Torres. First guy they lose. Gleyber Torres goes to the Tigers for 1 year, $15 million. This deal just made a lot of sense to me. Not much to break down on this one. Didn't make any sense for the Yankees to bring him back. But just kind of a prove-it deal for Gleyber Torres, who I personally don't believe in. But if you're the Tigers, you got a bunch of talent coming up the wings. Max Clark, Jace Young. Now you got Bryce Rayner as prospects. You got all these prospects here. You also got guys like Colt Keith coming up rookie year. You got guys like Javier Baez, who you just got to pay him to sit on your bench now. To me, this was like we're kind of in the middle phase. We don't want to put too much on Matt Vierling. Let's let Gleyber Torres kind of bridge the gap, have a prove-it year. What did you think? Anything else?
Dude, no, I like it. I like what Detroit's doing a lot. Detroit sports have been down bad. Like, as a Detroit sports fan, you got to be happy with what, obviously, the Lions are doing. You got to be happy with what the Tigers are doing in the baseball, and I think that's a good move that should benefit them and should make Detroit fans happy for a couple more years, hopefully.
Yeah. I think Gleyber Torres will be just perfectly mediocre. 1 year, $15 million, just he's gonna like 260 with 20 home runs, and they're gonna love it.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't think Gleyber Torres is worth anything that crazy. All right, Big Dawg, we're just about rounding out. Before crack those knuckles, because Big Dawg's ready to pull some heat. We got Bowman draft coming down the bend. But before we get out of here, it is New Year's Eve. So let's talk a little New Year's Eve discussion. You know, the real nitty-gritty, cold, hard facts. Are you pro New Year's Eve in general? Like, where does it rank for you on like big holidays?
Not a big holiday for me. I'm not a big New Year's Eve kind of guy. Honestly, as I've gotten older, I've just realized that like it just gets harder. Like, Ubers just get more expensive.
It's ridiculous.
Everything gets more expensive. The deals at the bars get more expensive. Like, it's just a whole marketing scheme. It's just a bunch of marketing. It's just like, how can we charge you $50 to drink a bunch of alcohol, like, in the quickest amount of time? So, listen, I'm big on, I'm always good to wrap up a year and get the new one started. But, like, dude, I'm a big fan of just, like, hanging out at home and watching the specials on TV and like seeing the ball drop at midnight and then going to bed. But now at this point, like,
I'm not making it to the ball drop.
I don't even make it to the ball dropping anymore. It's not even that big of a deal.
I gotta credit the college football playoff, because having these big bowl games on New Year's Eve and New Year's is fantastic. We have a full slate of college basketball today that I know I appreciate a whole lot. I was going to make the claim that this was like a big scheme for Champagne. Like, Champagne is just paying the New Year's baby $1 billion. Like, keep churning us out. But Champagne is delicious. I'm not going to say a bad word about Champagne. Today's top 5, Big Dawg. And if you got some takes on this, and if you want to weigh in at all on the top 5 here and have your own list, the top 5 worst things, the biggest BS. The top 5 pieces of BS when it comes to New Year's Eve. All right? Because there's a lot of crap going on. Number 5, and we're experiencing it literally right now, always one of my least favorite days of the year, December 31st. Now, New Year's Eve night, very fun. You know, you get together with your friends, you see the ball drop, you have some champagne, whatever. It's always a good party night. But I never knew what to do from when I woke up until I went to any function.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
Like,
yes.
New Year's Eve day is one of my least favorite days. I'm just rotting, right? Like, and I don't know about you. I'm an overthinker. So, like, if I have to do one thing during the day, I'll just, like, lay around thinking, like, oh, my God, I got to go to the doctor's at 3. Like, I have a hard time getting stuff done during the day.
Yes.
So if I'm like, you know, like, what do I do? I'm going to have to go. I go and get champagne. Like, you watch a movie. Thankfully, we got college basketball on today. I would have, if I wasn't working today, I'd probably just like lay around watching George Mason games or something like that. But I never know what to do on New Year's Day, to be honest with you.
Okay, I'm agreeing with the list so far.
Yeah.
What else do we got?
Number 4 would be the 2024 or 2025, whatever year it is. Insert those glasses in there.
Why didn't they stop those after 2009, dude? It was good for the 2000s when the O's were on the eyes, but the fact that they are keeping those going, dude, that is ridiculous, dude. That has me outraged just thinking about it, dude. Like, it has me outraged.
Why? Who are they for?
What are they for?
Who are buying them?
Who's buying? Dude, why? Why are those getting bought? Like
back.
Why are they putting a 0 through the 1, like, or the number, like?
Back in 1999, right? Like, They didn't make those in 1999 or 1998. I don't imagine. So you just don't need everything, right? Everything can end. Why the traditions are good, but some traditions just need to end. I personally think it's ridiculous. Number 3, I think this could be very controversial. The ball drop. What is it? What is the ball drop?
What is it? It's just like a ball on a stick that
it
moves down at midnight. I thought it was a bigger deal when I was a kid, but like now that I'm watching it, I'm like, what is this? Like, what is it?
I am anti-ball drop.
What is it?
Like I maybe it's making me, maybe it's because I'm getting old and like nihilistic or something like that. But I've started to be like, what's even the point? You know what I mean? Like so what? The ball came down. What's the New Year's baby? Why do all these people, like there are people right now in New York City who are going out and they're standing there.
They've been standing there since yesterday, probably.
You saw, like, actually, or no?
That's how it works. I know that for sure. At least they're going right now. I know for sure you have to be there in the morning at least. Like, there's no way that you can get there in like the afternoon. Like, they are definitely out there. Let me go on Twitter right now and let's see.
There's got to be someone who's out there.
We got to see if Times Square. Where does that happen at Times Square?
Yeah. What would be the logic? What are you going to gain out of that? You can watch it on TV. What are these sick people doing? Like, you don't get money from doing this.
Dude, it's insane in Times Square. Like,
it's cold. It's not like it's in Florida, right? Like in New York, it's freezing. You're gonna stand out there all day. Forget about it. The ball drop is one of the worst things ever. Number 2 is obviously New Year's resolutions. I've never subscribed to this. I apologize because people who make New Year's resolutions are better people than me, without a doubt. Big Dawg, are you a resolutionsman? Or you ever make one?
No, I'm not. Dude, first of all, the people that make them don't stick to them. And again, if you want to be better, you don't have to wait until the new year to make a resolution. You can make a resolution for your life at any time, dude. And half the people that do them on New Year's do not even stick with them, man. Like,
it's a tale as old as time. Everyone hates New Year's resolutions. Then why does everyone make one? The worst is the one friend that says, I have a friend like this. Sorry, Sophie, I love you. But she'll be like, you go to a party and she'll be like, all right, everyone, write your New Year's resolution down. It's like, what are we doing? What is it, 1983? Is this the first time anyone thought about this? Forget it. Number 1 is New Year, New Me. Oh, it's classic. New Year, New Me, baby.
It's painful even just hearing
I gotta say it. It's so funny. New Year, New Me. Come on, it's New Year, New Me. Matty Ice says it. New Year, New Me. Come on, Matty Ice. You're still going to say, I'm going to keep it a buck. You know what I mean? We're still going to be...
New Year, New Me is...
Fiskin, what's up, Fiskin? Good morning to you, Fiskin. Fiskin says Philly sock. You watch it, Fiskin. Good to see you nonetheless. Yeah, they kind of do, Fiskin. I'm not too happy. Must end the season. Good morning and a happy New Year to you, Fiskin. But yeah, those are the 5 worst things about New Year's Eve. There's so much junk about it. But Big Dawg, it's just about your time today, man.
It's just about time.
By the way, you got anything that rubs you the wrong way about New Year's Eve?
What you just mentioned all kind of encapsulates it. Along with drunk driving, don't drunk drive.
There you go. That's I had to do that.
Chat.
Don't drunk drive.
That's Big Dawg's message of the day.
I like Big Dawg's message of the day.
That irks me out because that always happens on New Year's. I know that if I'm driving out late tonight, I don't want to be at risk, so everybody's got to do it. So that's a big thing for me.
Why should you get penalized?
Why do I get penalized? Yeah. But that's pretty much it. Like what you mentioned all just gave me the ick. Talking about those glasses, talking about New Year, New Me. Not a fan of those little party poppers. Those like little things,
scary.
Those little things on a string. It's a really loud noise with just like a couple pieces of confetti in there, and dude, it's just all sham, bro.
It's all a sham.
It's all a marketing ploy.
Hey, at least a lot of you get a day off. I hope everyone is enjoying your day off today. We got plenty of sports action today: college basketball, college football, but maybe most importantly, Big Dawg on the one chair today. He's going to be ripping. We got Bowman Draft in the store. Any Superfractor auto, you will get $5,000 worth of break credit here with us at Sunco Sports. Big Dawg's rocking New Year's Eve.
Big Dawg's
as I said this morning,
Eve,
Dick Clark, good riddance. Ryan Seacrest, shove it. We got Big Dawg on the one chair today. He's going to be ripping some Bowman draft. We also got some auctions, so I hear, coming down the pipe today.
We got a lot in store for Big Dawg's Rock.
There you go.
We're going to get a lot done today.
So hold on to those champagne flutes just a little while. You can tell those people on Times Square that they're damn fools because Big Dawg's making his big debut. Maybe, what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to take the baseball logo and the Suncoast Sports hat. We're going to cut it out. We're going to make it a patch, kind of like our very own debut card.
Patch. Dude, we might have to just do that.
It'll be the Big Dawg debut patch card.
We might have to do
New Year's Eve 2024.
That could be it right there. That might have to look into that.
And then we're going to hold it from the Suncoast first Chrome and then put it in the Suncoast Chrome update to raise the value of the second run.
To keep the market, keeping the market hot.
And Suncoast Mike that goes, did you guys know Judge also dropped the ball this year? Ayo!
Oh.
Come on. Never mind. This is a family show. You can fill in the blanks here about dropping the ball. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic New Year's Eve. As I gotta say, drive responsibly. Big Dawg's taking care of ya. Auctions, $5,000 break credit for Bowman Superfractor Autos, and have a fantastic New Year's Eve, ladies and gentlemen.
We're hitting that credit today. Come on.
Sir. Yes, sir. We'll be back tomorrow morning, and we'll be rocking with you all day right here on Suncoast Sports. Have a happy New Year. Let's see you with Big Dawg, baby. Thank you guys for watching us right here on Suncoast Sports. PDX says congrats, Big Dawg. Let's go.
PDX. Let's get it going today.
Ooh, dollar auctions in the store. Come and get it. We'll see you guys. Have a nice day.